Welcome back to the channel, and today we're watching the preliminary hearing for Joshua Ferguson. Yes, the same Joshua Ferguson who was running for Meade County Jailer in 2026. Was running, that is, because if you look at the candidates list now, his name has vanished faster than a campaign promise after Election Day. I'm going to play this hearing straight through with no commentary. The only thing I've done is boost the audio, because apparently in 2025 Kentucky courts are still recording hearings in mono with microphones that sound like they came from a clearance bin at Dollar General.
25F8, scheduled today for a preliminary hearing. Price is here on behalf of Mr. Ferguson. Mr. is here on behalf of the Commonwealth. Call your first witness.
I'll call Chief Jackson.
Okay, please. Raise your hand. You swear affirm the testimony you're giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Let's see a seat, you may ask.
Can you state your name for the record?
Timmy Jackson,
And which agency do you serve?
Muldraw Police Department,
What's your position there?
and Chief of Police.
Are you familiar with the defendant Joshua Ferguson?
I am.
Is he present today in the courtroom?
He is.
Where's he at?
He's sitting there in a black shirt.
Okay. And how did you come to make these charges on Mr. Ferguson?
Mr. Ferguson posted on a public forum, City of Muldraw page, it was that I was a member as well as several other citizens. One of the citizens of that page came to me and said that Mr. Ferguson had posted that he had unlawful access to a secure portal that law enforcement, and that he was able to get onto that portal.
Okay. And did he have any prior position that would have allowed him access to that portal?
Yes, he was a District 1 Meade County Constable.
Okay. And is he still holding that position?
No, he resigned from that position October 28th, 2024.
Okay. And when you said he had access to it, did you verify that he had access to that portal after October?
Yeah, after those allegations, I contacted the KWOPS manager, Brandon Cobb. On May 27th, we did a soft audit to see if Mr. Ferguson still had access and if he had been on KWOPS or e-warrants. He had not been on KWOPS, but we did discover that he had been actively using e-warrants, which is a secured site that law enforcement uses in the state of Kentucky, from the day of his resignation on through that day of the 27th. At that time, Mr. Cobb and I made the decision to go ahead and turn off his access so he could no longer gain that access to those individuals and the information on that site.
Okay. And did you verify how many times he had accessed that portal from after his resignation till May 27th of 2025?
At that time, we went back to January 1st. Mr. Cobb and myself, during the soft audit, we observed 52 login that we logged in, searched different counties, different individuals, different warrants, DVOs, so forth. We then, later in the investigation, went back and did a audit all the way back to October 28th when he resigned from his position. And the last number that I recall that's in the report, it's over 100 times from 9 different IP addresses.
Okay. And did this occur within Meade County?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about the e-warrants portal that he had access to.
When you become a certified law enforcement officer, we all sign a signed agreement that we can be civilly and criminally charged if it is violated. Mr. Ferguson signed that same agreement, which is there's a copy of it in the report, when he was elected as Meade County Constable. It's very clear on what we're required to do and not do. And at the time on October 28th, he wasn't signed up through any other agency but himself. He was obligated through the state of Kentucky and the Commonwealth to call and turn off his access, which he did not do so.
Okay. And in the process of accessing the e-warrant system, did he present himself in any way online that he was a law enforcement officer or anything to that nature?
He did. There was a Facebook conversation that he had with me that said he was still an active member of the Meade County Constable Association. It was more of a conversation he was directing, that he didn't think I was qualified to do my job. There's a recorded conversation, and I asked him whether he was actually carrying his constable badge in the city of Muldrow. He hesitantly denied that. He said it was in his house, and other law enforcement officers could actually see that badge where it was. When he searched these individuals, both by date of birth, names, first name, last names, and actually there's 2 different people he's attempted to search. One successfully was a female here in Meade County, searched through her social security number. At this time, I'm not understanding where that came from or how he obtained her social as of yet. The other social that was a partial was his own actual social security number.
Okay. And tell me more about what he was posting on the social media platform. Did he have any purpose for that?
I think it was to validate his claims of me being disqualified for my job based on personal or professional reasons. I'm unclear. Mr. Ferguson and I had multiple conversations that are documented through Messenger, as well as one conversation after our City Hall meeting, that I was there to help him and that he demanded accountability and that he expected all law enforcement officers to hold every person in that same realm of accountability, which is what I gave him when I did the investigation on Mr. Ferguson.
Okay. And did you, in your investigation, did you name any of the individuals that he had searched during this time?
No, I've talked to a few of them. They're unclear. The ones I could get a hold of, they're unclear why he searched them in e-warrants. They have no knowledge of why he done that. There is one individual that may be connected to another case that's actively being investigated, and there is one individual that claims that him and Mr. Ferguson have a personal issue with each other.
Okay. And did you investigate any of his other employment situations to where he would have had access to the e-warrant system?
To my knowledge, I don't know for sure whether Meade County Detention Center allows them to have access to e-warrants, but regardless of when he would have resigned from the constable position and became a sworn deputy jailer, he cannot carry 2 badges in the same county. He would have had to give up that access, which he did not do on October 28th when he resigned officially to the Judge Executive's office.
Okay. And so he had accessed e-warrants at a time that he was not supposed to access e-warrants.
From October 28th to May 28th,
okay.
2025.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Chief, where were you before you were Chief of Muldrow?
Edmonds County Sheriff's Department.
And what was that, Edmonson County?
Edmonds County Sheriff's Department.
How long were you there?
A little over a year and a half.
Where were you before Edmonson County?
I worked in Grayson County for 6 months.
Now, you came to Muldrow, and it sounds like you and Mr. Ferguson, I don't want to say disagree, but he disagreed with the fact that you're working in Muldrow. Is that fair to say?
We had a great, I will say that based on the messages that I've read dozens of times, because I've tried to understand it myself, based on my beliefs, both in my faith and my Christianity, me and Josh had a good, solid relationship. That relationship stopped when the officer in Muldrow was arrested. It kind of just turned in a different direction, which I was still unsure of then. There was a night about 11:30, I've had to look at the screenshots, that Mr. Ferguson had posted something attacking the mayor of Muldrow and myself. So I messaged him. I was already asleep, woke up, messaged him, and said, hey man, I don't understand. Well, it auto-corrected, because I was using Siri, said manhood. From pretty much that point on, it became a very vicious, personal, defamational attack from Mr. Ferguson. And at that point, I had no contact with him whatsoever.
and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to write down these things real quick. So, and it's your testimony that whenever he was a constable for this county, that he had the right to have this account?
Up to October 28th, 2024.
But the answer is that yes.
Yes, he signed the user agreement.
And they gave him a password, gave him a
Yes.
username, all these things?
Yes,
So up until October 28th,
yes.
and at that point, it sounds like he took a job with the Meade County Jail, correct?
No, he actually moved out of his district, resigned to the judge executive office, and at that point, it was his obligation to the Commonwealth to call and remove himself and that access,
But whenever he moved, he came here and took a job with the jail.
and continued using e-warrants and representing himself.
If you could just answer his
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes.
I understand where he's going, just answer his questions.
So he took a job with the jail, correct?
Yes,
And it was your testimony that you're not sure if they can use it or not?
I was unsure, no.
Okay. Now, whenever you got this report on Facebook, someone from Muldrow contacted you?
Said something about it, yes.
Okay, who was that?
That would be Mayor Anthony Lee, along with several other individuals. And it was actually, I saw it that night, it was posted, as well as the following day.
Okay, so at that point, you became curious as to what's going on?
I wasn't curious, I was making sure he was actually not violating the law.
Okay, so you weren't curious about it at all?
Well, I would have never thought a person that took the same oath I did would do such thing.
That is true. So when did this Facebook post come out?
It came out on May 22nd.
Of this year?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went and did a soft search with Officer Cobb?
Brandon Cobb, he is the branch manager for KY Ops and E-Warrants. He's their IT manager.
And you said that there were several logins, or
52 exactly.
52 logins from using his username and his password.
Yes.
And then you mentioned it was from 9 different IP
9
addresses.
different IP addresses. And when you do these
No,
logins,
hold on. So with 9 different IP addresses, that means 9 different locations, correct?
Yes.
Internet locations.
yes,
So whenever you say that he logged in 9 times, you just know that 9 times somebody used his information to log in, correct?
no, because when you do a login, it's a two-part verification. He gets a cell phone code, which went to his cell phone, and it was verified through his carrier. It's
Okay.
in the audit.
And then you mentioned that he said he was still active in the constable organization, correct?
Yes.
But that's not saying he's a constable.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I just want to clear
No, that was prior to this the events on Facebook
And then you
stuff.
said some other officers saw his badge. What badge?
He mentioned that in the recording. He said he was recording. He had some questions about a contract I was under. He said, I asked him, I said, I've had people tell me that you wore your badge in Muldrow, and I've heard that a few different times from different people in the city of Muldrow. And again, I didn't think it was happening. I wasn't paying attention that it was. Josh seemed like a pretty solid guy.
So whenever you said officers saw the badge,
That's what he said.
okay, but no, you haven't spoken to a specific officer who saw him doing this or saw him with the badge?
No, he just told me the officers knew where his badge was in his home.
And in looking at the charges, so there's roughly, and I'm sorry, I'm not getting super precise here, but there's roughly 50 counts of unlawful access and roughly 50 counts of impersonating a peace officer.
Yes.
And now, are you saying with each login in, he committed each of those?
Each time he did that search on different dates and times, absolutely.
Okay. And you also mentioned that whenever he was doing these searches, the only two that you noticed was a female's social security number and his own social security number.
Well, the way the audit and the way the logins work, you can do simple searches, and it's just going to show warrants through that county. But no, in the actual case report, you can see where Mr. Ferguson went in and searched different counties. Anywhere from Jefferson, Fayette, Logan, LaRue, Laurel, counties outside of his jurisdiction. Who he searched inside of those counties, I can't tell you.
But the only specific things he did was he typed in one social security number and he typed in...
No, 11 different names, first name, last name, and did a broad search through e-warrants for those 11 different Meade County residents.
Okay. Your Honor, that's all we have right now. Thank you.
Ms. Pruitt, anything else from this witness?
Just a couple. You said he had searched 11 different Meade County residents. Did he, I'm sorry, I think you already testified. Did you contact any of those people?
I've talked to 3 at this time. The other ones I have no way of getting a hold of them.
Okay. And were they aware that he was searching them, or?
I can't imagine that they would be, no.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, anything else from this witness?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses, Ms. Pruitt?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Price, any witnesses you wish to call?
Nothing. Thank you.
Argument regarding probable cause?
Your Honor, impersonating a peace officer is not something as simple as even saying you're a peace officer. There's several different aspects to it. He has to pretend to be a peace officer or represent as a law enforcement or act with authority or approval. I'm not thinking they mean any of those things. He's not putting himself as an officer. He's not impersonating an officer. He's not pulling anybody over. He's not writing citations of any kind. The most important part as it comes to this hearing is you have to do those things with intent to induce another to submit to pretended official authority. He has to be doing those things in order to make another person act in a certain way. At no point has there been any testimony that he has even contacted anyone. The only testimony we have is that he looked up these people, that the officer actually followed up with these people, and these people told the officer he has no idea why he was searching or that he was even searching for them. So every single one of these searches leads to an oblivious individual that he put no authority onto and led no way to induce them to do anything or otherwise to act in reliance. That's a quote. There's no way that he can be charged with impersonating a peace officer. It's absolutely a two-step. You have to act like a peace officer and you have to enforce or induce someone to do something. They've offered zero proof of that, and in fact, they've only offered proof of the opposite, that these people had no idea what was going on. Whenever you talk about unlawful access, again, we see that as something simple as you're accessing a computer that you're not supposed to have access to. He signed up for it, he lawfully had it, he forgot to log off of it. Those are just facts. Now, should he have logged off of it? We'll even give him that fact. He made a mistake, but you have to be doing this in order to devise or execute any scheme or artifice to defraud. There's absolutely no proof of that fact. And again, there's only the opposite. The officer took the stand and said, yes, he did those searches. Yes, we found those searches. Yes, I followed up with all these people, and these people had no idea about it. The second, 1B, obtaining money, property, or services for themselves. He has in no way used this information to get a job, to get information to get these people, to present these people with an opportunity to move himself forward in any way, shape, or form. It has to be used by means of false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises. Never done any of those things. We will give the Commonwealth the fact that he accessed a computer that he probably should have said, no, I don't have access to, and given that up. They can prove nothing about obtaining money, property, devising, or executing a scheme. In fact, they simply prove the opposite. So based on those facts, I don't think they've met their burden, Your Honor.
Ms. Pruitt?
Yes, Judge, I'd ask that you find probable cause and send this matter to the grand jury. The officer testified, chief testified on 52 different occasions after he had resigned. He accessed this e-warrants website pretending to be an officer, pretending like he had the authority. I think that is an act within law enforcement as well as with the intent to induce others to submit to that pretended official authority, because he was posting on Facebook that he had access to all of this. He still was able to search through the non-public forums. He held himself out to have access to this, even though he knew that he should not have access to, and was defrauding the general public in that matter. So I would ask that you find probable cause on both impersonating and unlawful access on all 52 accounts and send this matter to the grand jury.
The impersonating a police officer, I think, falls under the statute. Inducing another is inducing the computer program to allow him access to it, and relying upon his statements he still has that legal access to it. So I'm going to find probable cause on the 52 counts of impersonating a police officer. computer access, I'm going to find probable cause on 52 counts of unlawful access to computer, but it's going to be in the 4th degree, because I don't think there was any evidence submitted as to any type of monetary gain that was being made by Mr. Ferguson for doing this at this time. There may have been some, but there's no evidence to that effect. So we'll send those to the grand jury. They can obviously indict on something else if they wish. So Mr. Ferguson, we don't know when your grand jury date will be. I suspect that if they indict you, they will issue a warrant at that point. Make sure you continue to follow your other bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
So probable cause has been found, and Joshua Ferguson, well, his case is now headed to the grand jury for possible indictment. And as the judge said, 52 counts of impersonating a peace officer. Under KRS 519.055, it's a Class D felony. If convicted, Ferguson faces 1 to 5 years in prison per count, meaning decades of potential exposure if the sentences were stacked together. He's also facing 52 counts of unlawful access to a computer, but the judge dropped that to the 4th degree. Now, this looks like it's going to be under KRS 434.853, makes it a Class B misdemeanor. Each count carries a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. But, as the judge said, the grand jury could take it back to unlawful access to a computer in the 1st degree. We're just going to have to wait and see. Don't you think it's a little ironic that on the 6th of June, Ferguson posts this on Facebook, having a dig at the Chief of Police, Timmy Jackson. And in that post, Ferguson says, "I don't break the law," quote unquote. And yet we've just watched him in a probable cause hearing, 52 counts of impersonating a peace officer, and 52 counts of unlawful access to a computer, amended to the 4th degree, going before the grand jury. And this person wanted to become the elected jailer of Meade County Detention Centre? Yeah. Corruption.